What would you do if one morning you woke up and you couldn't do this? Well, something similar to this happened to Ron and I not that long ago. Our neighbor miscalculated her turn and hit our water pipes. We were out of water for over 2 full days. While certainly inconvenient, it was a teachable learning experience. We found out how important water is and how dysfunctional our life was without having water on command. Many of us rely on our local municipal water district supply. With so many states going through a drought, it may not be smart to assume that water is going to be readily available. In this video, I'm going to give you some ideas on how to store your water, the do's and don'ts, and some useful products that will not only help you store water, but extend your water quality. So sit back, get a pencil and paper, take some notes, and let's see if we can work on our water issues together.
In this video, we're going over how much water we need each day and month, how to store water, how to sanitize water, and a couple tips to help you feel clean when water is in limited supply. There are 5 components to consider when thinking about emergency water storage: drinking, food preparation, first aid, sanitation, and hygiene. So how much water do we need? FEMA and the CDC states 1 gallon per person per day, a half a gallon for drinking, a quarter gallon each for cooking and hygiene, and we should store enough for 2 weeks. And don't forget to add for pets. For a family of 4, you would need 30 gallons per week, and for 2 people, 15 gallons. What does this look like? If you stored 16-ounce single-use water bottles, you would need 184 bottles for a family of 4 for 1 week, 92 for a family of 2. You would need 6 35-pack water bottles to last 1 week for a family of 2, and 12 for a family of 4, and additional for pets. This is a 2.5-gallon water container. It has thicker plastic and more sturdy than the 6-ounce water bottles. When the water's gone, because it has a spout, I will refill and leave on the edge of the sink to use as a watering station. There are many different containers available for storing water, and each method has its pros and cons. The Aquatainer is a 7-gallon container and part of our water storage system. We do have several. This container size works well for us because we can store them in several areas. When considering which containers will work best for you, keep in mind water is heavy, and how hard will it be to move a 6 or 7-gallon jug once filled? I believe ours weigh around 50 pounds. You can store filled containers for 1 to 2 years. And make sure that you label when you fill the water. I can't tell you how important this is. You won't remember. And you can extend the storage time with alkaline drops. It also makes your water taste fresh a little bit longer. I've done some research, and the companies that makes these drops state that your water tastes fresh for at least 6 years. I am also considering the water brick for storage. They're 3.5 gallons, can stack 4 feet high, and would each weigh less. The drawback for me is the diameter of the cap is large, and it must be screwed on tight enough to engage the rubber seal so it doesn't leak when stored on its side. As I get older, it may be harder for me to get that cap off. Something to think about. I'll update with a review if I decide to purchase. Another consideration, the blue 55-gallon containers. They hold a lot of water, which is an absolute plus. But you need a pump or siphon system to get the water out. Also, it can be tough to find a place for one of these in a small home. The next one, I got a pretty big chuckle from my husband when it was delivered. Keep in mind, this does not replace your water storage, just simply another avenue to collect drinking water. It's a short-term answer, and you need to know in advance if there's an issue with the water and the water's being shut off.
The water bob is very easy to use. Simply take it out of the box and lay the water bob bladder flat in the bathtub. Unscrew the nozzle cap and attach the fill sock. Slide the fill sock over the faucet and turn the cold water on. When the water level reaches just below the tub's edge, turn the water off. Remove the fill sock. Replace it with a white cap and tighten. Depending on your home's water flow, it takes about 30 minutes to fill. When you need water, simply remove the nozzle cap and thread on the siphon pump. To dispense the water, place a pitcher or jug below water level and squeeze the pump several times to begin the siphon effect. To stop the water flow, loosen the vent cap on top of the pump, allowing all remaining water to flow out of the hose. Remove the pump and tighten the vent cap when you're finished. The water bob is constructed of FDA-compliant food-grade plastic and can store fresh drinking water for up to 16 weeks. When fresh water is no longer needed, pump the remaining water down the drain. Clean, fresh drinking water.
Let's get into water, sanitation, and purification. The life straw. I did a detailed video on this a few weeks ago. I'll leave a link in the description box. Potable aqua chlorine dioxide water purification tablets. Here's a short clip from the manufacturer video.
The most trusted name in water purification products, potable aqua is used by militaries and relief organizations around the world. Potable aqua is an easy-to-use, simple water purification for campers, backpackers, and outdoor enthusiasts, from the top of Mount Everest to the North and South Poles and everywhere in between. Potable aqua chlorine dioxide tablets are chlorine dioxide-based water purification tablets that are effective against bacteria, viruses, and cysts. Whether camping, canoeing, hunting, or engaging in any sort of outdoor activity, it pays to be mindful of your water supply. The Center for Disease Control and Prevention reports that between 30 and 70% of international travelers suffer from some form of traveler's diarrhea, calling TD the most predictable travel-related illness. The most common causes of waterborne TD bacteria, such as E. coli, cholera, or salmonella, are reduced or eliminated by potable aqua drinking water germicidal tablets. As hurricanes and tsunamis tragically demonstrate, the first things to get knocked out by natural disasters are the electrical grid and water supply. According to the Federal Emergency Management Agency, an adult needs a minimum of a half gallon of water per day for just drinking, so a family of 4 would require roughly 2 gallons per day of purified water. Make potable aqua an integral component of your disaster relief and emergency preparedness to protect you and your family from potential harm. Potable aqua chlorine dioxide tablets are easy to use. First, collect water from any fresh water source. Next, remove the tablet from its foil packaging with a knife or scissors and quickly insert into 1 quart or liter of contaminated water. Allow the tablet to react for 4 hours in an opaque container or in the dark to generate a used solution of 4 parts per million chlorine dioxide. After the 4-hour treatment time, the water is ready for drinking with no aftertaste. Chlorine dioxide improves the taste and color of water. Chlorine dioxide tablets are available in 20-quart or 30-quart packs. For faster treatment time, consider Potable Aqua or Potable Aqua with Potable Aqua Plus. For more information on these, please visit potableaqua.com. From the backcountry to your backyard and everywhere in between, Potable Aqua is an easy-to-use, cost-effective water treatment system.
Pool Shock is EPA approved and will last on your shelf indefinitely. You'll want to store this product in a cool, dry place. You must store the powder in a plastic or glass container. Make sure the lid is not metal. The fumes corrode metal. Make sure the only active ingredient is calcium hypochlorite, and it must be 68% or above. To prepare, you're looking to create a base solution. For 200 gallons, mix 1 heaping teaspoon into 2 gallons of water. For a smaller base solution, 1 quart base would be a dash of the calcium hypochlorite. A dash equals 1/8 teaspoon. For a pint base, which would sanitize 12.5 gallons of water, you would use a pinch. A pinch equals 1/16 of a teaspoon. Even though the amounts are very small, it's enough to make the water safe. The most common and possibly more reliable is boiling the water. One of the issues with dealing with potentially contaminated water are bacteria and viruses. The toughest of the bacteria viruses to kill is hepatitis A, and it's the one you should be the most worried about. To kill hepatitis A, you need to boil water for at least 2 minutes, but boiling water at 160 degrees Fahrenheit for 10 minutes should kill off pretty much all bugs and viruses. Boiling and canning water makes it sterile, and this is vital when dealing with first aid and wound care. I'm using the pressure canner as a water bath. Many people have different ideas on how long the water should boil before adding to jars. I'm going to err on the side of caution and boil for 10 minutes. Then add to warm jars and boil for another 10 minutes, with a total of 20 minutes. Chlorination or iodine are additional ways to kill bacteria and viruses. Here's a common recipe, but again, do your own research. 4 drops of unscented bleach per quart. Shake or stir, wait a half an hour, put the cap on, and make sure you date the bottle. It's good for about 6 months. Disclaimer, my knowledge is limited. A good resource for a deeper dive would be Jim Phillips. I found him while researching this topic. He may be able to help you understand in detail what you need to do to make sure your water is safe. His knowledge is so vast that he's probably forgotten more than most people will ever know on the subject. He's been researching for over 50 years. He does have a YouTube channel and website. I'll link both in the description below. A few tips. You will have water in your hot water heater. Most home tanks range from 40 to 50 gallons. If you have a tankless water heater, skip this tip. Flushing a toilet takes a gallon of water. If you have a pool, use pool water. No pool? Well, that's a video for a different day. Did you know that taking a shower can use up about 20 gallons of water? Baby wipes. They're inexpensive, makes you feel fresh, and saves you from having to use water. One last tip, there's a product called Nurture Foaming Body Cleanser. It's a body wash formula you can use on your face and body with absolutely no rinsing or water required. I've left a link in the description if you're interested in checking it out.
Well, I hope that gave you some good, helpful information. Now, I do have plenty of resources linked in the description box below. So I hope you'll like, subscribe, and we'll see you the next time.